What is up, YouTube family? It's your boy Jason from the Lot Talk, and I'm back to break down another NBA slate. But before I go off, and you be liking the content and the knowledge I've been dropping, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. It only helps me push this video out to more people so I can keep on doing this day in and day out. And hey man, if you were on my premium yesterday, we did it again. Another winning day. I had 14 winning days. Every single day has been profitable in 2025. And I'm going to look to do number 15 today. We have a loaded slate in basketball. There are so many games today. Guys, please be patient with me. I'm going to try to go through these full slate breakdowns, give my opinion on the side or a total. But of course, if you want to know what exactly I'm giving out to all my premium guys, go to that description or pin comment down below. I left something special so you guys can all join me in premium at a special price. Not only that, if you want a way to get in for a week for free, go to one of our partner apps. I put that in the description and another comment down below. So you can guys just sign up, use our link or code. And when you do, just send me a DM on Instagram and we'll add you to premium for a week free. But guys, let's go crush the YouTube. We did very, very well yesterday on the YouTube. I believe we had a winning record on the free YouTube plays on the sides and stuff. Some of the highlights I did give out were like Bucks. I gave that for free on Instagram as well as a free premium play. They absolutely blew out the Kings. The Hawks won. I can go through the list, but obviously go check it out. This whole point of the videos are for free information, so please use the information to what helps you out the most. You could fade me or tell me, but there's just a lot of it is just for informational purposes. Let's go. I'm going to try to keep this video under 15 minutes. Please bear with me. There are a lot more games today than yesterday. So let's go talk about it. The first game on the board is the New York Knicks against the Philadelphia 76ers. And yes, the Philadelphia 76ers, I believe they played yesterday against OKC. OKC absolutely crushed them, but they did not play all their starters. Embiid, most importantly, did not play. But there are a lot of guys out on the Philly side as far as I see. Maxi's still out. Paul George is out. And Caleb Martin will also be out. Embiid is a game-time decision, but if all these guys are out, I don't know if they're going to play or not. I mean, on the back-to-back, the Knicks, they have, it looks like, to be everyone to be healthy. Maybe Karl-Anthony Towns might not play. So it's a real kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say any bad words, but what I would say in this game is that the Knicks are very good at attacking the basket. That's probably the weakest point of the Philadelphia 76ers defense. And on the offensive side, I mean, it's very hard to judge because so many guys have been out. So a lot of the paper stats really don't tell the tale of how the Sixers are. If they have all their guys out, I really don't think they could be competitive against the Knicks. The Knicks are really on a roll. Even though they lost their last game against the Pistons at home, I think on the road in this game against a Sixers team that, you know, is definitely somewhat of a rivalry, I think they bounce back, especially if they have Karl-Anthony Towns playing. But guys, pay attention to that injury report because it is pretty big. Don't just go bet just to bet. So I'm going to go on to that next game. Second game on the board I see is the Boston Celtics against the Toronto Raptors. And hey man, look, I'm going to say it like this, bro. On paper, the Boston Celtics are the best team in the East by many, many measures. I think the Cavaliers are better, but you know, hey, people want to make the argument. Boston Celtics have not been playing that well, man. I mean, they beat the New Orleans Pelicans, but almost lost that game. They go on the road now against the Toronto Raptors, who I have not been really covering games too well as they were before, but still one of the best home covering teams in the NBA. And now they're getting their best spot, getting a ton of points at home. Look, man, I mean, no matter what the stats say, I mean, Boston Celtics are better everywhere. Defensively, offensively, shooting threes. All I got to say is that this game will be obviously tough for the Toronto Raptors. I mean, they're not great at defending the three-point line, an area where, I mean, the Boston Celtics really have made an emphasis this year to shoot a ton of threes. So if they're able to stop them and be effective in some way, I mean, among all their defensive points, it's the weakest point. They do allow a lot of threes. So I could definitely see this game getting away from them. But there's no way I want to lay 14 points with the Boston Celtics, who've kind of been slacking, in my opinion. They have not been as impressive, and covering a big spread like this requires them to be on that timing. So I'm going to probably stay away from this game, but if I had to make a play, I'm going to take the Toronto Raptors at home getting the points. It's been their best spot. They could probably lose by 12 points, and you'll still cover. All right, the next game, speaking about these two teams, the Dallas Mavericks will be in New Orleans playing the Pelicans, and hey, man, what did I say yesterday? In my video, the Pelicans, I believe, were only like +1.5 dogs against the Bulls last night. They beat the Bulls outright. And the Pelicans look like they're going to have everyone again except Herbert Jones is still out. Brandon Ingram is still out. But it looks like everyone's going to be playing. Both teams are actually on a back-to-back. New Orleans did play in Chicago, so they're going to be traveling back to New Orleans. Decently long travel. And then Dallas played last night in Dallas, and now we'll be traveling to New Orleans. Both teams in the back-to-back with travel. Obviously, New Orleans will be back home, so a spot when, I mean, if you guys don't remember last year or the years prior, I've said it in many videos already, man. At home, New Orleans Pelicans, when they were all healthy, were one of the best teams in the NBA, and they're playing Dallas, who just got their butts whooped by the Nuggets, a team that hasn't been that great. Obviously, Dallas 2.5-point favorites on the road. Looks like they'll have maybe Kyrie Irving back again. I mean, Derek Lively is a game-time decision. So we'll see who ends up playing. If the Pelicans have everyone, man, I'm going to keep on rocking with the Pelicans, man. Give me the Pelicans plus 2.5. Again, on paper, the Pelicans don't look like the better team. Dallas, there's a lot of injuries, especially Luka not being there. So guys I like looking at stats. I like looking at the recent data. I mean, New Orleans Pelicans definitely have been doing much, much better as of late. So, off the eye test and just how they've been performing, I think the Pelicans can win this game outright as well. Give me the Pelicans plus 2.5 at home. All right, guys, look, we have a few more games, but before I do go off, I do want to say, if you guys are looking for a new sportsbook, I actually had one of my clients get banned just a few days ago for winning too much. So if you guys do want a book or an exchange that will allow you to bet and not stop you if you're actually winning, go to that pinned comment down below. I put a promo over there. You get 50% off your first purchase off this new book called Novig. They welcome all action. You can actually go peer-to-peer, make your own lines, and they'll accept any action even if you're winning. So definitely consider that. I know winning too much is usually not a problem for most of the people, but hey, if you're a big bettor and you're scared about getting banned, or you don't want to be scared about doing that, don't work with your local bookie. Get on an actual exchange that actually has money behind it. Hit up Novig, use my code LOCK, and get yourself a big discount. But all right, guys, let's talk about this next game. And this game should be a high-flying game. I mean, just the totals at 244. The Atlanta Hawks against the Chicago Bulls. Look, the Atlanta Hawks got the job done. I also said that yesterday. Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young is a game-time decision, but the big thing that may be happening now is Jalen Johnson might be back, and that is huge, man. Jalen Johnson is a major piece to this team. He's gotten the starting role as the power forward for a good reason. Chicago Bulls, we have Vucevic over rebounds. That man cashed for us. So Bulls, they're both teams on the back-to-back. Atlanta Hawks obviously have to travel, but I think Chicago also is staying home. This will be part of their homestand. So in this game, man, I don't know. I like props in this game. This would be one of the games where props will definitely be elevated, but should be a high-scoring, fast-paced game. Both teams use a lot of offense. They shoot a lot. I mean, if I had to make a choice on who I think wins this game in this close-type spread, I actually think the Atlanta Hawks are the better team. We'll see if Jalen Johnson and Trae Young play. By the way the line looks, I think they will both play, but obviously pay attention to that injury report, please. But yeah, I'll go with the Atlanta Hawks in that game. All right, guys, we have, let's see, I have 7 more plays to go, so just try to give me 8 more minutes. I'm trying to rock the rest of it. So for the next game on the board, we got the Orlando Magic against the Milwaukee Bucks. Orlando Magic on the road, getting 5.5 points. And Milwaukee Bucks, man, shout out to you guys for hitting that free play. We cashed, absolute blowout winner. Milwaukee Bucks crushed the Kings, and now they're playing Orlando Magic team who looks like they'll have Banchero back. I think he's going to be fully healthy. Caldwell Pope is a game-time decision. But on the Milwaukee side, the only injury I see that maybe the player might play is Chris Middleton. If Chris Middleton plays, I don't think it really makes a big difference. The one thing about the Orlando Magic is that they do have a very, very strong defense. But, I mean, it's been kind of muddied by all the injuries, things like that. Orlando, if anything, they've been kind of an average team so far, but the one thing they do very well is prevent threes. And Milwaukee Bucks, that's what mainly their offense is shooting a ton of threes and making them. That's how they beat the Thunder. So, I don't know, in this game on a back-to-back for Milwaukee where they got their big win after that game, that beatdown from New York, I actually think this might be a good spot to take the Magic with the points. I also think the Magic have the size to deal with guys like Antetokounmpo, things like that. They have a pretty decent defense, and also I think their offense as well will be good enough to possibly, stay competitive in this game. It's not my favorite play on the board, but I will actually take the Magic plus 5.5. Everyone's probably super high Milwaukee beating the hot Kings, and now they're just going to lay an egg for everyone and lose this back-to-back. But that's why I would go in this game. I'll take the Orlando Magic. It's the Milwaukee Bucks plus 5.5 points. All right, guys, let's talk about the next game. We got the Memphis Grizzlies against the San Antonio Spurs. Memphis laying 3 points on the road. And, man, look, Memphis is still one of the best teams. I mean, they did get the cover for us last time against the Rockets on a lucky 3. But I will say this, man. The Memphis Grizzlies, they played a really, really fast pace. This will be actually the first part of a doubleheader. And we'll see who wins in the first game. But I would take Memphis -3. I think San Antonio, even though they have Wembanyama, guys like that, I think Memphis has enough defense and size to contain Wembanyama. And their team is still fairly deep, man, even with all the injuries. I don't see major injuries besides on the San Antonio side. They don't have Sohan. But I think Memphis is better everywhere, defensively, offensively. I think this line's fairly low. San Antonio's getting a lot of respect now. But I think Memphis, close game though, but I'll lean with Memphis -3. Okay, the next game, we have the Houston Rockets against the Denver Nuggets. Houston Rockets laying 1 point on the road against the Denver Nuggets, and Denver just came off a big win on the road. Now they're back home against Houston. Houston, obviously, I've always said before, their best spot is at home. They got that win against Memphis after coming back, and now they're going to have to face Denver, and we'll play Sacramento tomorrow. So this might be a tough spot for them. I don't know. This is definitely not a look-ahead spot. They definitely want to beat the Denver Nuggets, who have definitely been a hotter team. Really close game to call. In terms of injuries, I don't see any major injuries on the report. So in terms of where I would probably want to lean on this game, the Rockets have a very, very good defense. I mean, they're really good. The only place that maybe they have a weakness is at the three-point line, but they do prevent a lot of three-point shots. And that's not where the Nuggets lie. They want to attack the basket and the mid-range, and that's where the Rockets really excel. So if there's any place where I think the Rockets will do well against the Nuggets is in the paint. I actually think the Rockets can definitely do a lot of damage. So in this game, I actually think the Rockets have a really good matchup defensively and offensively. So I would lean with Houston. They didn't play a back-to-back. Even though they have a big game against Sacramento tomorrow, I think they definitely want to get this dub in, because who knows? Like, flying to California the next day will be a problem. Maybe they win today, you fade them tomorrow. But I like Houston in the spot. I think they have a good matchup everywhere. All right, guys. 4 more games left. Let's talk about the next 4. The next game on the board, we got the Charlotte Hornets against the Utah Jazz. Charlotte, man, I mean, LaMelo Ball's been red hot. And the Utah Jazz, man, I mean, they've been dealing with a lot of injuries. So let's take a look at the injury report. Jordan Clarkson's still out. John Collins still out. Drew Zhang out. Markin out. Colin Sexton's out. They're basically running with a bench team right now. Kente George might play, but I don't know. His injuries was kind of serious, but I think he has like plantar fasciitis or something big. I don't know if that's him or Clarkson, but nonetheless, should be a decently, I don't know. I mean, Utah plays no defense. They have so many guys out. There's no way I really want to touch this game. Even props is tough, because even on the Charlotte side, now that LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller's out, it's tough to know who's really going to rock everything. But in my opinion, in this game, given all the injuries, I would have to rock with the Charlotte Hornets, but not my favorite game on the board. Let's go move on to the next game. The next play on the board, I see the Golden State Warriors against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Golden State Warriors against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Golden State, man, under 500. I mean, they were starting pretty hot, and let's see how they do now. I mean, Kuminga's out. Draymond Green's a game-time decision. They're dealing with a lot of injuries. Again, I think they could get Jimmy Butler, but we'll see what happens. On the Minnesota side, no injuries. Minnesota's laying 6 points at home. And man, look, this is what I'm going to say. Minnesota shoots a lot of threes. Golden State prevents a lot of three-point shooting. Obviously, Minnesota, where have they been good at? They've been good at stopping threes as well. So it's going to be an inside battle. If that becomes an inside battle, it's not a place where Golden State really excels at. So I think Minnesota, rightfully so, is a big favorite. But, hey, from history, Minnesota's not been good and reliable at covering decently big spreads. This is basically a 2-bucket type game. I don't know, man. I mean, I think Minnesota probably wins this game. But I want to lay 6 points. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really love this spot for them. But for the sake of the video, man, I do think if Golden State Warriors have a lot more guys healthy, I can see a possible victory. But there ain't no way I want to do it with Golden State and how they've been playing, man. So give me the Minnesota Timberwolves -6, but definitely not something I love at all. All right, last 2 games on the board, man. Thank you for sticking with me. If you have been, man, and you've been enjoying this type of content, again, hit that subscribe button, man. Help your boy move up on this YouTube algorithm. Let's go. Crush it. All right, next 2 games. We got the Miami Heat against the LA Lakers. Lakers laying 5 points at home. Pretty big spread, man. I mean, the LA Lakers not a team that I've really been loving. They've been okay. I mean, everyone looks like they're going to be playing today. I think there's some good plays for some props. Decently low total, 217. I mean, both teams played at a pretty low pace. I do think this could be a very competitive game. In terms of where the Miami Heat have been, I mean, Miami Heat with all these issues, man, it's been kind of annoying. I just don't love that Jimmy Butler's been his main focus throughout the game. But, I mean, in terms of where Miami's really good at, I mean, they just attack a lot of threes. The Lakers, they want to shoot threes, man. They've been pretty good at stopping that. They have but not been good if you attack the basket area. Miami does not do a lot of. In terms of Miami's defense, where they've been very good is they've been good at stopping attacks to the rim. They allow you to shoot threes. But overall, a better defense. I mean, the Lakers love attacking the basket. I would say, based off of the defense and the offensive matchups, I like the under in this game, under 217. They played at a decently low rate. The only thing is, obviously, both teams do chuck up threes like every goddamn team in the NBA. So if the 3 points end up doing well, I guess this could sail over. But I think with the pace and where they like to play, where the offenses like to go versus each other's defenses, it's a good matchup for the defenses. So give me the under on this game. And all right, guys, we made it to the very end. The Brooklyn Nets against the Los Angeles Clippers. I mean, look, Clippers minus 14.5 favorites at home. Disgusting, but the Brooklyn Nets have not been a good team at all. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think they won their last game. Let me see. I got to take a look. But the Brooklyn, I think they absolutely blew out the Portland Trailblazers last night, beat them 132-114. Look, I think the Clippers probably beat the Brooklyn Nets, but this is my policy. I do not want to lay big points unless I see a huge advantage, and I guess I kind of do everywhere. The Clippers are good. The Clippers are better. Brooklyn Nets just have a lot of injuries, man, so they're doing a back-to-back with travel with a depleted team. So if anything, maybe you take Brooklyn in the first quarter, first half. They've been one of the best first quarter, first half teams in the NBA, but whole game, I can see the Clippers just getting their heels under them and just blowing them out, especially with Kawhi playing, James Harden, Zubac, Norman Powell. This team is a good team. Don't sleep on the Clippers. They're 21-17 right now. I would not be surprised if they ended up becoming a playoff threat if they stay healthy. But guys, so my game pick, I'll take the Clippers whole game minus 14.5, but I do not love it. Trust me, I hate laying big spreads like that, but they definitely can do it. But guys, if you've been with me to the very end, thank you so much. I really do hope all these videos are helpful. If you want to see me come up here again, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.